Hey guys, welcome back. It is another episode of what we are now calling the Fight Scrubs podcast. I'm Logan Sama. I'm the chair for today. We're joined once again by Kim1234 and Phenom. F-Word is currently on holiday, enjoying himself a bit of sun out there in Spain. I hope you're enjoying that. But we are about to enjoy this UFC card in Madison Square Garden. And Kim, I know you're particularly looking forward to this one. Why is that?
Because I'm going to be there in person.
Ooh.
Literally, the first time in my life I've ever splurged on tickets this price. It's going to be good. COVID somewhat under control. Let's live life a little bit. UFC, let's go.
Yeah, man, in MSG as well, it's going to be a great atmosphere. I'm really looking forward to this one. We've got a bunch of rematches. A couple of fighters looking to get back on like the road to, what would you call that, recovery, like back in the winning ways. We got a couple of great undercards. We haven't really got the time to go through it, but I'm really looking forward to Pereira's debut, coming out of Glory, seeing how kickboxer at the age, he's like 34, right? How's he going to transition into MMA? That I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, is he the template kickboxing champion with a zero takedown defense? Not too sure. His highlights are all over the place, and we were talking about this earlier, but he trains with Glover, the new light heavyweight champion, and he's being topped up a bunch. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting, and he's the main event on the prelims, so all eyes on him.
Yeah, and that's his UFC debut, right?
Yeah.
He's going up against Andreas Michailidis, who's a little bit of a journeyman, but they're the guys you got to watch out for, I guess. They're there to be the speed dumps. Anything's possible in MMA.
Yeah, I think.
Do you have a quick analysis on how this might go? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Pereira knowledge. I don't have much knowledge on him as a fighter. Just know he beat Adesanya apparently. I haven't seen that enough. Maybe you have.
Well, I think it all depends on how well his wrestling is. Like, if he has at least decent takedown defense, I think he should manage to beat Michailidis. But that's the question. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he never really, I guess, caught on with the grappling. Like maybe he hasn't trained it a lot. I don't know. There's not a lot of information on Pereira and on him in MMA. He's most on the scene in kickboxing, so it's gonna be interesting to see. There's not always, like, Adesanya is a good example of a kickboxer who found success in MMA, but you also have on the other spectrum like Gokhan Saki, who he even got knocked out in a fight. He lost in what is his strength. So it's very like, the sport is very unpredictable. So I guess I just have to see this fight to kind of look at how his level is. So I don't really know what will happen.
The power of Google tells me he is 3-1 with one loss by submission. So it was a rear naked choke. His very first fight, though.
Yeah.
A little bit of a writing on the wall there,
Yeah.
Regardless, though, this shit's gonna be hype anyway. It's gonna be exciting. They positioned him perfectly. They know what they for sure know what he's gonna say afterwards, and that's gonna spice up the 185 division. Adesanya seems unbeatable right now. He really does in that division. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, putting him there as the main event of the prelims really tells you everything you need to know about what the UFC think of him and what they're hoping for him. Because we've seen this before. People that have come in and UFC have hoped that they would have gone on and done things, but anything can happen in MMA. One shot, one slip up, one transition pass, and it can be all over for anybody. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. But they're the prelims. So let's take a look at the main card. And we have got Frankie Edgar He's won like one in his last, was it 4 or 5? Like he's had on an absolute stinking terrible run. He's gone up against Marlon Vera. What do you think about this one? I know you love Frankie.
Phenom, you go
you want
first.
me to start?
Yeah,
Well,
go first. I'll provide my input later.
all right. So Frankie is obviously not in a good run right now, especially his last fight. That was fucking brutal. The way he got caught by Corey Sandhagen, even though it is Corey Sandhagen, so it's not. He didn't lose to anyone. It was like one of the top fighters in that division. But like this, like Frankie Edgar is like he's like a wrestle boxer. He puts a pace on you. He mixes it up really well, and I don't. Marlon Vera is also. I think he's pretty decent standing up. He's tough, and I think he's a bit bigger than Edgar. I'm not sure how good his wrestling is, Marlon Vera. Like if Frankie Edgar were to go for a really wrestling heavy approach against him, I'm not sure. I haven't really seen him fight against an opponent like that before. So this is something new. That I mean, I just haven't seen it. Maybe he has, but yeah. So who's gonna win? I think Marlon's gonna win because I think Frankie. Like I think it sounds, I don't know, stylistically a little bit tricky for Marlon, but Frankie's on a little bit of a, like he's lost a lot of his past fights now, and some of them have been a bit bad. It might be getting a bit old too. So I think Marlon will win.
You've been holding it
Raf?
back, Kim. What do you think?
Well, actually, real quick, just so we don't forget, what's the method of victory and the round?
Oh, okay.
I think Frank, like even though Frankie got knocked out, he got knocked out by a flying knee, and when you get hit by that, it doesn't matter how tough you are. Really, you're gonna get slept if that hits clean. But I think Marlon is gonna win a decision. That's my gut feeling.
Okay. Okay, so in my mind, Frankie has. I thought he's like on a 5 fight losing streak, but actually he has a win, a very recent win over Pedro Munoz, who's an amazing fighter. So he's you can't count him out. You can never count this guy out. Yeah, and that's why everyone loves him, and he's going to be pretty much he'll have home court advantage. He's a Jersey boy, and he'll be in NYC. So I do feel that his motivation is quite high. I think Vera is a very good matchup for. He's a good test to see how Frankie currently is, because Vera is primarily stand up. He has submissions, but he won't get those submissions by proactively wrestling. And that's how that's Frankie's his main advantage. I think that time is a ticking, and I think Vera is actually, even though he lost to Aldo recently, his last fight he showed that he still had the hunger, and he's much younger. So I pick Vera by. Oh, this is tough. It's tough because I don't want to see Frankie finished anymore, man. Like, doesn't it hurt? Doesn't it hurt just seeing him like kind of fall apart sometimes?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like we all love Frankie. It's really strange, right? Yeah, Vera probably by finish. Second round, and I say that with all the respect, because Edgar he never got finished for the longest time, but once you get that button hit due to Ortega, everything came much easier for him. Korean Zombie, for example, and Sanhagen. So let's say second round TKO finish Vera.
I have to agree with that call. I think it's a really smart booking, by the way, having him open up the main card, because you're right, man. That crowd's going to be behind him. He's so well loved, but man, he's 40 years old.
Ugh.
He lost. I think he's lost 4 of his last 5. I know the Munoz fight was the won the penultimate one, so this the second fight before this. He got stopped by TKO pretty badly by Korean Zombie. That knockout by the flying knee was horrible. And I think this is just set up for Vera. If this was Frankie Edgar like 5 years ago, I could just see him outworking him. The wrestling and just the work rate, because Edgar's cardio was crazy when he was younger. But he's 40, he's taken a lot of damage, and I really can't see this going past the second round. I think this is going to be a second round TKO as well for Vera.
All right. This is a little bit different with the Logan dynamic. I have a friend here that all right, I see. It's usually Logan.
You get now. Listen, I didn't listen to your advice before the recording, which was pick opposite to you all the time. But I really can't see. I really can't see Edgar getting past Vera, man. Like, I think there's just too many miles on the clock now, and he's had 2 pretty bad stoppages. He's 40. He hasn't got the gas in the tank. I just can't see it. Let's move on to the next fight, which is Shane Burgos against Billy Quarantillo.
So I know Shane Burgos is he's a stand-up. He's particularly a stand-up fighter. And he's not that bad either. He had he got finished by Edson Barboza, but it was a pretty back and forth fight. Even though and the way he got, but the way he got finished, if you remember that was like a really delay. He got hit by a left hook or something, and then it took 10 seconds until he started backing away.
Yeah, it was scary.
It was very, very weird. But yeah, I think he's pretty good. I actually think he's underrated in that division. And Billy Quarantillo, I've only seen a little of him. I think he's not better than Shane in the stand-up department. I think Shane is better there, but he might have better grappling than Shane. But I don't know if it's enough to, I guess, impose his that part of his game on him. I think Shane is gonna win this, but I think I know Billy's tough though, so I think Shane's gonna win by decision.
Let's see here. So Billy is one of the Contender Series guys. Yeah, they started off there. Yeah, and then he I watched a little bit of his highlights. He has wrestling. He has wrestling for sure, but he seems very grindy, very in your face, and primarily striking, but he goes for the wrestling to get the ground and pound. I see a little bit of an advantage there for Quarantillo. And Shane Burgos, off of that really weird knockout, you kind of have to question if that's if that affects his mentality and his approach when he fights, because we all know Shane as he's not scared of anything. He's gonna walk forward, literally walk forward. Yeah. I'm kind of curious where his mind is right now. So I'm actually gonna go opposite and pick Billy, and this is it could just be recency bias, because Billy had an amazing performance in his last fight, and Shane had probably the scariest and worst performance that he's. And it was a good performance actually, but it was a very scary one. That literally, if he were to go in the locker room and ask people "Have you guys ever experienced this?" They'd be like, "No, man, go to a doctor or something." I think that's probably somewhere in there. So a little bit of data involved here, but I'll go with Billy, and I'll go with decision. What about you, Logan?
Phenom, have you made your pick already?
Yeah.
Okay. It's an interesting one, right? Because Burgos is obviously on a back-to-back losing streak. And I don't know a huge amount about Quarantillo, but I looked up his record, and whilst the win-loss is pretty good, I think he's lost 1 fight in the last 5 years. The caliber of opponents compared to the ones that Burgos has faced is worlds apart. And Burgos has to be going into this fight looking to make a statement, and I definitely think Burgos he needs to win this, and I think he will win this, and I think he will win this with a decision. I think he's got power to stop him. I definitely think a stoppage is possible, but I think because Burgos really needs just a dub, right? No one wants to be on a 3-fight losing streak. I think he's going to play it safe and just get a decision on this one, in my opinion.
Cool.
So
we want to go to the next fight.
Yeah, Gaethje and Chandler.
Real quick, Phenom. Burgos by what method?
Decision. I said it earlier.
Yeah.
Forgot that part.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, the people's main event. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Take it away, Logan.
So Gaethje versus Chandler. We are back here in the lightweight division. This is just going to be super exciting. This is like really kicking off what's going to be an hour and a half of just crazy New York crowd. Very similar. They've both got incredible wrestling, of course, but they love to throw. This is just going to be... I think this is just going to be super exciting for me. Like I find this very hard to call. I'm not going to lie. What
do you think the wrestling cancels each other out? Like we always hear.
Yeah, I think they're just going to throw. Can I swear on the podcast? I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to throw fucking haymakers at each other, bro. Like this is just going to be this is going to be like UFC 1, like big fucking swinging right hands, and someone's going to get caught. I think.
Yeah, okay. Well, actually, go ahead and finish off with your pick. You can lead off this time.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, this one's really hard.
Who do you want to win? How about that? Who are you a bigger fan of? And then we'll take it from there.
I really enjoy Gaethje, and I also think that he's a little bit fresher as well. Than Chandler, and I think he's a bit more durable as well. And I just think this is going to be really scrappy, very aggressive. I think like you said, the wrestling is probably going to cancel out, and we're just going to see some good old fashioned cage fighting more than MMA. And I think Gaethje will take it with how many rounds is this? Is this a 3 or a 5?
It's a 3, but I would pay extra money. I would put an extra $200 down on my tickets if it would be like a 5 round.
Yeah, you know those ones where it's like it kind of deserves to be a 5 rounder, but they've got 2 title fights already on the card. If this was a 5 rounder, I would put my house on there being a stoppage. But 3 rounds,
good point.
I'm gonna say Gaethje by decision.
Gaethje by decision. Interesting. Okay. What was Gaethje's last decision when you look up this?
Let's find out. Curious. What does Sherdog say?
I don't think he has one.
That's true. Ever. Yeah, I mean, the Ferguson one was on the way rather to a decision, but that was still the finish. Hold on. There has to be something. Finish.
Melvin Guillard in 2014.
Damn. Yeah, all his UFC fights are him getting finished, or him most of the time him finishing people. That's why he's the man. I mean, I legitimately get giddy when I know Gaethje's fighting. Like, yeah, he's earned that respect. Okay, so you're going Gaethje by decision, huh?
Yeah.
His record is amazing, 23-2, and those 2 losses, that could be one. Khabib one is definitely
22-3, lost to Poirier and Alvarez.
Poirier? Oh, you're right. Oh, this is wrong. Wow. Okay.
They knocked him out, but it was late though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and the
Poirier
Eddie Alvarez
was in the 4th round.
Yeah. Eddie Alvarez was moving in the direction of Gaethje, I would say. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'll say my piece. First of all, Chandler is such a PR person. Like, all his interviews he gives, it's like, oh my god, dude, please say something that's not the picture perfect nice thing to say. I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my mind, but I want Gaethje to win. Let me try to not take my. Let me take my heart away from this pick. Who's more durable? Gaethje.
Gaethje.
Who implements who actually implements wrestling into their fight style? Chandler. Yeah. Why do wrestlers not want to fight each other? Or why do wrestlers not want to use wrestling against each other? Because they're gonna tire out much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this will be a stand-up fight. Gaethje should have the advantage historically from what we've seen. Chandler is 6 losses. I'm kind of curious how many of those are by knockout. I can at least picture 3 of them. Gaethje finish. Yep, Gaethje finish, second round.
The last 4 losses of Chandler have all been TKOs.
The last, all of them.
Yeah,
not even one submission.
The last 4, and before that it was 2 decisions. So he's never been subbed.
Yeah, man. Once you get turned off that first time, they start coming, huh? Gaethje, second round TKO. But I think this fight is going to be amazing. I don't see any of them. I actually really don't believe they're going to back up. I think they're going to meet in the middle and fight. I prefer to see some wrestling though. I don't want it to be just a stand-up fight because that's a bit of rolling of the dice. I want to see some MMA. I want to see wrestling involved. I want to see people second guessing their actions. That's why we watch MMA.
This is going to be Street Fighter 5 neutral, bro. There's going to be crush counters thrown out. That I'm telling you.
I wonder which one will be shift first and show their cards.
Phenom, what do you think?
So it's a 3-rounder, and I think it's gonna be very fast paced. There's not gonna be 5 rounds, so they have less time to work with. So I think it's gonna be a bit more action. I wonder if Chandler is gonna if he looked at the Khabib against Gaethje fight and saw that Gaethje's wrestling is maybe a bit overrated, maybe relatively for him. Maybe he feels like there's a hole there that he can exploit. Like, okay, I can just take this dude down and control him there, because he looked really controllable. Like when Khabib took him down, he did whatever he wanted to him. He literally did a fucking mounted triangle, and just because he didn't want to do an armbar in front of his parents or something. So maybe Chandler looked at that and thinks there's something he could do there, or like you guys said, he's just gonna come out swinging, because Chandler in the first round is very dangerous. Like, he almost finished Oliveira in the first round. He finished Dan Hooker in the first round. He's a super explosive guy. I don't get the impression that his gas tank is particularly good. I feel like he's one of those, like, he hits very hard, but he doesn't have a lot of output, if that makes sense. He moves around a lot. He tries to find his timing, but he has to be very, careful about using his energy. While Gaethje usually can go pretty hard for many rounds, like he has shown in the past. So this is why the fight is hard to call, because I would give the first round, I would give that to Chandler. Like, I feel like he has all the advantages in the first round. But then, what if he doesn't? What if he's not able to finish Gaethje? Gaethje is so tough, right? And then you have the second round and the third round. So I think Gaethje is gonna win by. I think he's gonna finish him in, let's say, the third round. I think Gaethje is gonna finish him, but Chandler can knock him out in the first. I think that guy hits really hard, so you never know. There's a possibility that could happen, but I think Gaethje is gonna win. Yeah.
Do you think leg kicks are gonna be implemented? I mean,
yes.
This is Gaethje, so definitely.
I think because the way Chandler stands, like, he's very wide. His legs are he has a very wide stance. He's very bouncy, kind of in and out. And when you stand in that wide stance, you can't really. It's very hard to check kicks, especially calf kicks. So he's gonna the way he's gonna try to avoid it is by moving outside of the range, moving in and out outside of the range of the kicks, and then trying to kind of, I guess, time him with a left hook, or like which he loves to throw that. He loves to like feint a takedown or feint a cross to the body and come up with a left hook. But in the way he stands, he's very susceptible to the low kick, and that is what Gaethje loves to throw. But so yeah, I think third round Gaethje is gonna win, but it's a very close fight.
Listen, MMA gods. No leg breaks. No leg breaks. Okay, I don't want to even see that in person. You know, I'll be miles away, but no leg breaks.
It's not gonna happen because the way Chandler stands, he doesn't check kicks like that. Like his stance, he's gonna try to just make the leg kicks whiff. It's not gonna be I don't think he's gonna check them like that.
But did we think Weidman was his expert like leg checker either? You know, like it'll be part of the plan. It has to be because he uses it like literally as much as he uses his hands. You know.
True, but I think Chandler has to change a big part of his style. Like if you want to check kicks, you have to stand a bit more narrow, and it's very unlike how Chandler fights. Like it will affect all his other strengths if he.
It's going to completely hinder his movement. Completely, and I can't see him giving up the movement style just to check. So outranging makes the most sense. I think so.
Yes, that's most likely what he's going to do.
I just think there's just going to be a lot of counter punching going on.
Yeah.
It'll be a good 15 minutes for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your pick? Because we need your method.
I did say Gaethje third round TKO.
TKO. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So now we are into the championship bouts, and our first rematch is Rose, who is, I believe, the only two-time strawweight champion in the UFC history. She has got her rematch against Zhang Weili. I think the first time that these fought, it was so shocking that people kind of overlooked that stylistically, I think Rose is a bad matchup for Weili anyway. The stoppage was so fast and so shocking that we never really got to see the fight develop. And I think this is going to be a bout in which Rose gets to display her superiority in style, because they're kind of similar. But if you look at their histories against same opponents, aside from the Andrade stoppage, that I think Rose is better at doing what Rose does than Weili.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, are you leaning towards Rose then again?
Yeah, I think. I suppose I've got to give a pick.
We need to figure out consequences for like who wins and stuff like that. Like we haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay. Who won last time? Who won the last one? Who won the last one?
I mean, I know I lost because I made the genius pick of Li Jingliang winning, but I will take the Glover window. I got that one. But I believe Phenom and Femi they stuck together like they usually do, and they won by one fight. In general, we're not bad at picking, to be honest. Like we'll get like 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 6 or something. Though. Yeah.
I think
we can make bets.
I think Rose by unanimous decision. That's what I think.
Okay. Very interesting. So Zhang Weili will learn from her mistakes. She won't be as sloppy when she approaches, and you'll think that will be enough to survive. But Rose wins. Does Rose win handily, or is it like
unanimous decision? Like by at least 2 rounds, I think. Not that I have to say that. A unanimous decision is enough for me, right? Or even is decision enough? I don't know. What are the rules?
I think let's
if I
let's
don't
do some
have
more,
to
let's do some more
if I don't
episodes
have
and
to if I don't have to call the specific submission, surely I don't have to call what the decision is, right? So yeah, I think Rose by decision, but I think it will be unanimous and at least a 2-round margin. Because I think,
also think
as you said, like I think Zhang Weili will come in, be a lot more cautious, but I just think Rose is better equipped to play that game. I can see Zhang trying to take her down and like grind her out, but I just don't think that she's going to be able to do that. And I think that Rose is going to Rose is just going to edge her out with a convincing, pretty like run business like workman like performance. Obviously, there is the the risk of her getting dumped on her head again if she tries to go in for something and get a finish. I don't think she's going to do that. I just think she's going to play it safe again and get the points decision.
All right. Do you want to go, or do you want me to go first?
I can go. I can go first. I can just say that I think there's. I think stylistically, like Logan said, this is very hard for Zhang. She doesn't really have. Like from what I've seen, she's primarily a striker, but I think Rose is the best striker in that division, and so I really can't see any way that Zhang can win the fight unless she. I mean, in a stand-up war, in a striking match, you obviously like you can lose to a lucky punch, but other than that, I think Rose is gonna control the fight, and Zhang is gonna be, I guess, a bit more careful. Like she doesn't want to get caught like last time, just out of the blue. So it's gonna go on for a few rounds, and I think Rose is gonna win a unanimous decision. I agree. So yeah.
We should have like. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, like, thinking back to the differences between their performances against Joanna, it was like really clear how much better at that kind of in the second fight. I think it's going to be very similar to that second fight where it's just going to be she's just going to get picked off with that jab over and over and over again. I really see that happening. Sorry, Kim, go through.
No, all good. I'm curious what the reach is now that you mentioned that. Reach is 65 inches for Rose, 63 for Weili. They have leg reach too. That's pretty cool. And Rose has longer legs.
Yeah.
Huh. This is this is the fight I'm most excited for actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the last fight that they had, I believe it was in Florida. I mean, I'm not sponsored by anyone in MMA. I can kind of say it. You know, I feel there's a little bit of some racism in the air.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And you know, Weili has given interviews about how that has affected her. I don't know if she will get that much here because New York is a highly condensed Chinese population that lives there. And I feel that in a way it'll be like even territory. It's funny because I recall interviews that her coaches brought up that's like the reason why she lost. And it wasn't the reason why she lost. She lost because she lost fair and square from a amazing front leg head kick. And you know, she did the whole like Muay Thai, try to like reel back, but she didn't move her legs and got slapped.
Yep.
I feel, as much as I don't want to say it, I like Weili a lot, but I don't see her winning this. I will bring one thing to the table though that you guys didn't mention yet, but she's training in Arizona at Fight Ready with Cejudo, with Eddie Cha, with that whole team over there, like Benson Henderson. This Korean Zombie also trains out there now. So she's definitely working on some wrestling. That's not you don't just go there like, hey, I'm just gonna train in America. You go in there for some fucking wrestling, okay? Like, and you've seen it. You've seen the videos on Instagram. You've seen the leaps and bounds in her wrestling ability. I am picking Rose. I don't think Rose will get a finish this time because I think Weili will be able to survive. But I think Rose will win by points. But I do want to say that if Weili wins, I do believe wrestling will be a great factor into it. Can you learn it in several months? Of course, we know the answer is like, she won't be the best at it. But I do believe that she's a physical specimen, man. She can learn it. She won't be the top class of it, But I see that being her mixing that up with her strikes is the way that she wins. But regardless, Rose will win probably by decision.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The raw strength, I think that's the only route she has, because matching up just pure striking, I think that's always going to be a bad matchup for her, and you're kind of gambling on a lucky blow landing that you can't. There's no training for that. There's no
Yeah.
I definitely agree. You made a really, really good point about the wrestling. You can't teach Olympic level wrestling in a couple of months, but you also can't teach incredible strength. And wherever it comes from, Zhang Weili has got incredible strength. And we did see Rose picked up and dropped on her head and sent to Sleepy Town before. It could happen again if she tries to overextend and leaves the opening. But yeah, this is going to be a really hype one. But I definitely think Rose is going to should be going into this with a safe game plan and trying to take this on points and just on to the next challenger.
I believe this is the first fight where we're all picking the same fighter and same method.
Yeah.
But I want to see a great fight. I think it will be a great fight, and yeah, good luck to both of them. It's gonna be amazing.
And then on to the main event, which I don't know if this is a controversial thing to say, but I feel like Colby has absolutely no right being in this fight. He's done nothing to me to deserve this fight. Like finishing Tyron Woodley late on is whatever, and that's the only fight he's had since that last loss, right?
Yes. He lost to Usman, and then he won one fight with Woodley,
and that's literally it. And obviously, COVID, what have you, blah blah blah. But Usman's had 3 fights between now and then. He beat Masvidal twice.
Literally, I think 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
He fought
and Gilbert
Masvidal
Burns. Yeah.
And Burns, correct.
I just don't like. This is for me. This is like the UFC equivalent of booking YouTubers to fight just to sell a fight off of
controversial
cutting promos.
Okay.
I honestly feel like that's what it is. They've booked this just because it's like, well, it's a rematch. Colby's going to talk shit. You're either going to cheer him on with your red cap, or you're going to want to see him get knocked out. I want to see him get knocked out. Hopefully it's in the second round.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Yeah, you're hoping to see that, and that's what you think will happen?
That's what I think will happen, yeah. I think Usman will stop
him. Second round knockout.
TKO in the second round.
Okay.
Not knockout, because I don't think Usman's got knockout power against Colby. I think it'll be a TKO.
I'll go next here. But before I go next, let's see here. So welterweight, who deserves it over Colby? I think your analysis is pretty spot on. I guess it's
fair. Like, there's no who's the number one contender? I don't.
It's Colby. It's Colby, Burns, Leon Edwards, Vicente Luque, Stephen Thompson, who just lost, so it can't be him. Michael Chiesa, he lost, it can't be him. Yeah. Masvidal cannot get 3 fights just yet. So basically, Leon.
I'd like to see Leon Edwards, but I can see that this is the money fight. This is like in wrestling when you've got like the pay-per-view in between WrestleMania or Survivor Series, and you need to have a title defense that you need to sell buys for, and this is one of those, man. I think we're putting Usman over to look strong going into whatever is coming.
This is no way out leading into WrestleMania or something.
Gotta make him look strong, right?
Yeah.
That's the Roman.
It goes Royal Rumble January, and this is like limited wrestling knowledge, by the way. But I think No Way Out or something is in February. Mania is in April or March.
Mania is usually in April.
Yeah.
April. So what's in March then?
Now, it used to be but you're going way back in the day when it was No Way Out before WrestleMania.
That's the only thing I know right now.
now it's like they have like the fucking what's it called, fast lane or something. I don't remember. Like they have like fast lane to WrestleMania or some shit. They have some weird name.
They
like,
have all kinds of weird shit now. They've got the crown jewels and shit, but it's mainly like Money in the Banks and Hell in a Cells and Elimination Chambers and do they still do Extreme Rules? I can't remember.
They did, yeah. Didn't they do one in summer? Was it summer?
Oh, they did one last month. Yeah, Roman beat Finn Balor. There you go.
Well, that was last month when he beat the Demon or something.
Well, so you're getting goddamn derailed here, guys. Let's talk about some real fighting.
Well, the rope, the Demon was about to win, and then the rope, broke. Bro, what the fuck?
And now,
I see you're a fan. You're a fan, Phenom. I see you right now.
And now Finn Balor's working a program with Chad Gable. How the mighty have fallen. Anyway, let's get back onto how Colby Covington is going to get his face punched in by Usman.
All right, okay. So my pick is Usman, and I think he also gets a finish because he has gotten so much more experience now than the first fight. His stand-up is improving leaps and bounds. It's really impressive, to be honest. He fights both stances now. And I think his decision to go out to Colorado makes a lot of sense. Like, instead of this super mega gym where everyone needs their attention, obviously, he can get concentrated attention from Trevor Whitman, I think is his name. Usman gets a finish. I really want these guys to wrestle, though, man. Like that's why we watch MMA. Like, you want to see all the skills put together. I want them to like not fear that the eventual depleting of their gas tank, you know. Because if it's stand up, Usman all day, man. Usman all day. He's got the power. He's got more skills now. Colby actually went to a slightly smaller gym because he left ATT. So it's got to be Usman. It's got to be Usman. The odds say that too, -305. So Usman, not submission, TKO, probably late at the same time too. Colby's a good fighter, man. You have to give him his props. He's a good fighter, but he won't survive again. So let's say same round. Was it 5th round last time? I think it was 5th round. Let's say 4th round. I don't know why I like that number. 4th round, TKO, Usman.
Okay. Phenom?
What have you got? So, like, stylistically, they're actually, like, in terms of skill set, they're pretty similar. They both have very, very good wrestling, very good grappling in general. And their striking now, I think Kamaru has improved his striking a lot since he fought Colby. And he still finished Colby back then when his striking was not as developed as it is today. Mm-hmm. And he's been more active than Colby, so that's also allowed him to evolve a bit, evolve faster, I guess. And Colby has not been that active. And he's only fought Woodley once last year and then pretty much waited for his title shot. So I don't know if... I don't know how... Is Colby pretty much the same as when he fought Kamaru the last time? Because Kamaru's not the same. Kamaru is way better. You know, Kamaru is way better now than he was back then. And he still won back then. Everyone like it's obviously Kamaru. I think Kamaru is gonna win. Like whether it's faster or not. I think Colby's pretty tough. Like he fought with a broken jaw for a few rounds against Kamaru. And
he says it wasn't broken though. He says it wasn't broken.
No, I mean he did say it in the fight itself. Like he felt it was broken. So, but if you want to talk about Colby's path to victory, I think Colby actually has to implement his wrestling and try to tire out Kamaru. I think if he tries to fight standing with Kamaru right now, Colby doesn't really have the power to put him away on the feet. He's gonna be exchanging with someone that has way more power than him. And,
how does he wrestle Usman, who's never been taken down in his career, and he couldn't take him down in 5 rounds? Like, didn't even get close to taking him down in 5 rounds. So
and Usman doesn't even get tired. I've never seen this guy tired either. Yeah.
That's his only. I feel that's his only hope. Really, just try to, like you can get rounds on the judges' scorecard if you just grind them along the fence. Just fucking be annoying, make a stalemate out of it. Just don't stand. He shouldn't stand too long in exchange because I think he'll definitely get knocked out now. So that's his only hope, really. I think the chances of him winning are pretty slim, Colby. I think Kamaru is gonna. I think he's gonna beat him more easily this time. I would say third. Maybe I think fourth round, like TKO for Kamaru.
Yeah, the fourth round sounds pretty, right? It's like
Yeah.
they're tougher than it's a title fight. They'll go the extra distance and then break in the fourth.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I wish we could do a quick summary. This will definitely help us when we review the video later to figure out who actually won.
All right, so let's go from the bottom of the card. Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera. I had Marlon Vera. I can't even remember what the pick was. I definitely had Marlon Vera. I think it was by...
we agreed. Second round TKO.
Yeah, second round TKO. And you, Phenom was...
Decision.
Decision. Shane Burgos and Billy Quarantillo.
I said Billy by decision.
I think I said Burgos decision, didn't I, as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gaethje Chandler. We all said Gaethje.
We all said Gaethje. Somebody said decision, I believe, but I said finish in second, I believe, TKO.
I said third round TKO.
Okay. What did you say, Logan?
I definitely must have said stoppage because I thought they were going to batter each other.
I
might have said decision, though. It's only 3 rounds. Yeah, I think I said decision. Gaethje decision in 3 rounds, yeah.
Okay.
Rose versus Whaley. I had decision. We all said decision. Usman, I said second round TKO.
I said fourth round.
And then me too. Fourth round TKO.
It was TKO for you as well, right, Phenom?
Wait, hold on. Our only opposing opinions are actually
Burgos. No, Burgos.
What a great contest we have going here, guys.
It's basically how accurate our finish calls are. That's basically it.
That's true.
But yeah,
okay,
what an awesome card. I really hope you have a great time, Kim. It's awesome that you took yourself there. You got to treat yourself now and then. I never regret paying the exorbitant amount of money I paid to fly myself to watch 13 seconds or whatever it was of McGregor Aldo.
Holy shit, you were there?
Yeah, I flew myself out there to watch that. Yeah,
he was very confident that McGregor was going to win. I remember talking to you about this. You were like, "Yeah, it's going to happen. Just watch."
Yeah, and win he did, and it was fucking awesome. I spent the whole day in there as well. I watched all the
Where's that energy now?
Everything.
Where's that energy now, Logan?
I mean, we don't have to talk about why I'm not going out there. But yeah, it should be a good weekend for you, man. I'm really hoping you're enjoying it.
Have you been to WrestleMania before, Logan?
Yeah, I went to WrestleMania in Orlando. That was pretty cool. When Undertaker retired and the Hardy Boys came back, it was sick.
Yeah.
Didn't Undertaker retire last year? Wait, you mean 2017?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The proper retiring with the
with the gloves and shit. Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And then I went to the Raw the night after when Roman Reigns got booed out the building. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So we are currently on episode 3, where we're already there, guys. Almost double digits. Episode 3 of Fight Scrubs podcast. I do want to correct a mistake I made last time. If you guys do want to follow us, it's actually at Fight Scrubs Pod. Don't go to podcasts, because that character limit does exist. Don't go there. Fight Scrubs Pod. You'll find these amazing analysis from such fight experts as Phenom, Logan Sama, Kim1234, F Word, FGC. We are for sure the reason why you guys are making money. So please pick us. We're not sponsored yet. DraftKings, please contact me.
Manscaped will take all those as well. You can see Phenom needs a selection of male grooming products. We'll happily promote that.
He might break the device, to be honest, man.
It's all good, guys. Thank you very much for joining us again. And yeah, let people know that we're here. Shout out to all the FGC supporting us. And if you're not from the FGC and you just discovered this podcast, then that's pretty fucking cool as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you next time round. And please enjoy the card. It's going to be an amazing one.
For sure.
Yes.
All right, later, guys. Bye.
Take care.